Good evening. Welcome to the Dugout. Yesterday was quite a day for Indian cricket in general. The tough task of picking the 15th for the Asia Cup. But now it's, when the squad is coming, you're basically reacting to the names that are coming in or the names that are going out. So you really don't have time to gather your thoughts and also speak to people in the know of things and really zero in on what really happened, what was the reason why somebody came in, what was the reason that somebody was left out. You also get to hear various reactions from players that have been part of the system or players that have played with this bunch of guys. And when you see their reactions, you get to know, which players can consider themselves very unfortunate to be left out, which can consider themselves very lucky to have made the squad. And so, as I always say, a day later, all of us are much wiser. And so the wiser us and the wiser you will try and have a wise conversation over what happened with the team selection. Now, when you look back, and I have to ask you to, yesterday we were debating about Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer and so on and so forth. That I think was the biggest topic. But now it's been a day. We've all slept well, we've read various reports. As I said, we're a little bit more wiser. Now, if you were to look at this squad, how would you rate it? Like if you had to give it out of 10.
I think it's still a very good squad. So that way is from the time that the squad was announced and we were deliberating on it and we were scrutinizing the team. I think that ways I don't think much has changed in my head. I still felt, while it still wasn't the squad that I was looking at, but you have to admit the fact that the squad announcement yesterday was a reminder of the rich reserves you have in T20 cricket. So much so that you can go ahead and name a separate team of players that haven't been picked. And while in that graphic that we also carried, we were talking about there being omissions, we were talking about there being players that have been put on the bench. You put all those players together and that tells you that you really have very good players to choose from. So the 15 that have been named is still a very good 15 and you can still arrive at a very good 11 as well. So that is one thing that in my mind doesn't change much from the time that the squad was initially announced.
How much would you give them out of 10?
I'm giving this side because I see a strong 11 still get named. I'm giving it a good 8.5, 9. It's a very good squad. I don't see there being loopholes and that's why I rate them so highly.
No, it is a good squad. That is, I don't think it is all down to some outstanding selections. I think the squad is very good because of, as you mentioned, because of the luxury of so many good talented players, a great bench strength. So even if you and I were picking the team, just that the reserves are so good that eventually whatever we pick will look good. So the point about it being a winning squad or, it'll do well and the 11 will look strong is not the point.
I think this was still the easier thing. The tougher thing would have been to look at this huge talent pool and then not name a good squad. That would have been the tougher thing.
That can't happen, no?
Yeah.
Whichever way, that's why I said, there is no way that you wouldn't have picked a good squad. So when you're judging this squad and you're saying it'll eventually make for a good 11 and you've covered all bases, that's not primarily because of some fine selection. It is primarily because of the talent that you have. So if you had picked a different 15 and I had picked a different 15, even that would look good. Having said that, I go back to the point. Your assessment of the 10 points and how much you give out of 10 has to be dependent on, with the available talent, have you done justice to everyone? And if you have, then how much do you rate the squad?
Same. I'm going with 8.5, 9, something like that.
Okay.
The 1.5 mark that I'm deducting at the moment is just because there is a Jaiswal that misses out, there's a Shreyas Iyer that misses out. But besides that, do I feel that there are players that were screaming to be in the 15 and were denied an opportunity? Perhaps not. Of course, that's not to say that they weren't good enough. They are also good enough. But you can only name 15, and with the people that you had to choose from, I think you've done a good job. So the moment that you try and get both of those names that I mentioned, if you try and get them in, the balance sort of goes. So you need to have the players, let's say somebody like a Dube, somebody like a Jaiswal who misses out. How do you get in a Jaiswal? You will have to take out a bowler, then perhaps you take out a fast bowler and then induct another batter in this team. So that was the only way, but then that has direct repercussions on the 11, and maybe looking at the 11 that they have in mind, they wanted this kind of a squad. And I understand you're looking at two places plus a Hardik Pandya with the squad that you have named. You're not going back to the time that you played the Champions Trophy or the England series, where one out and out fast bowler plus an Hardik Pandya was the combination you tried out on 4 out of the 5 matches. Given keeping all of that in mind, I think it's a very good squad selection.
I mean, the squad is good, but as I said, for me, I'm not going to give it. I'm looking at 7.5, 8 is what I'll give. Not because the squad is not strong. I still maintain that this is a Asia Cup winning squad, and it is even a World Cup winning sort of a squad. So I'm not denying that the ability of this squad, but that's primarily, as I mentioned, because of the talent that you have. So any squad that would have been made, it would have been a title contender squad. But the reason I'm giving it about 8 is because I think you have blundered on 2 areas. One, leaving out a Shreyas Iyer. One, leaving out a Yashasvi Jaiswal. And leaving out even a Prasidh Krishna. For me, because you have been seeing latest IPL results as well, and that is something that they've looked at. How Harshit Rana comes ahead of a Prasidh, because in Shubman Gill's case, you said he's also scored 700 runs. That's what was said in the PC, right? In the test matches, you can't really ignore that. That is what was told in the PC. Then similarly, you cannot ignore one of your highest wicket takers in the test series in Prasidh Krishna, despite the fact that he didn't play all test matches. And you cannot ignore the fact that he finished as the highest wicket taker in the IPL as well. How Harshit Rana, who I don't even think is in the top 15 wicket takers of this last IPL, supersedes him to get into the squad, beats me. I know maybe when they even make the 11, there'll be a good chance that Harshit plays there. I think there could be a possibility that, he's the second of the fast bowler, even Arshdeep misses out. And they might play Harshit because of his batting abilities. I don't know whether that's the reason that they've gone with, but even then that I feel is a bit of a cop out every time you come up with that this person has another skill, which is not really an outstanding skill. Like, I know Harshit can get runs, but I'm not going to rate much on his batting, much like you can't take Tilak Verma as a all-rounder. I know he can bowl, but you're not going to look at him as a bowling all-rounder. So with that, I think these are 3 big omissions, and with the extension of 3 big omissions, I still feel that 2 people who've made it instead of these players, and I'm not doubting the ability of these 2 players who I'm going to talk about, but the ones that miss out in comparison, I still feel that these players lack a bit. One, I think, is Shubman in that sense. I know he's the prince and he's your test captain who's been in fine form and he's done well in the IPL as well. But in comparison to how Shreyas plays this sport or how Yashasvi has been playing so far in this format, I still think these 2 were ahead of Shubman Gill. And similarly, I know Rinku bats a little lower down the order, but for me, between Shivam Dube and Rinku, I could have added Shivam Dube, but because again they'll say he's got another skill in him being a bowler and he can bowl, though he hardly ever bowls. I would have still had a Shreyas Iyer ahead of a Rinku. Fine, they bat in different position, but I could have adjusted.
But what's the whole point if you're not... See, then you try and also keep an eye on whether I can fit him in the 11 or not.
You're going to be changing Sanju Samson's position anyway, no? So
or maybe not.
Why have you picked him only? So
there is a mandate of having a backup keeper, na?
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. So for some people, you'll change batting position. Axar Patel batted well higher up the order also. Some games he'll have to bat at 8.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it is just a matter of convenience for who you want to change position.
Yes, absolutely. Because you're doing that the moment that you get a Shubman Gill, that has repercussions on not one but 2 players. Simple as that.
So I'm going back to that thing that I think that a person who's not been in that much form till very recently, in a Shivam Dube and a Rinku Singh, being ahead of a Shreyas Iyer, I just think that it just doesn't add up well. Yeah, how a Shreyas Iyer is out just doesn't sit well with me. And by that logic, that Shubman Gill coming in.
No, but see, it was always going to be difficult. And we knew that even 2 days back when we were making our 15s here. We knew with Shreyas, yes, there were multiple reports trickling in. Some suggested that yes, he could be included. Some also suggested he may not necessarily be included as well. And I see because we will hold the same, we'll hold the same entity then guilty of not giving the long rope to somebody like a Dube who was part of your World Cup winning squad and was smashing the ball around all corners of the park in the previous IPL.
But then that same logic, Yashasvi Jaiswal should get the long rope as well.
Exactly.
But you don't know. So that's what I'm saying.
Double standards are there.
Double standard. That is why.
Yes, absolutely. So for some players, the IPL logic was applied. For some, the IPL logic wasn't applied. Rinku, in his case, the IPL logic wasn't applied because purely basis.
Dube also.
Dube, yes, is the other player, because if you were selecting players basis just the IPL, then these two players wouldn't have merited a place in the side.
It has to be just the IPL, but you see a larger picture.
Exactly.
Right? You see how well you're doing in T20Is. You see how well you're doing in general in other formats, because you're looking at Shubman as well. So I think if you looked at Shubman's test form, similarly you should have looked at Shreyas's ODI form as well, because Shreyas in
Champions Trophy.
I'll tell you something, that I was talking to a overseas journalist, someone who's not from India, on the phone today. And he told me that, what were your selectors thinking? I can't believe that Shreyas Iyer is not picked. And he said, according to me, number one reason for you guys winning the Champions Trophy was Shreyas Iyer. The kind of batting.
I'm not surprised with those remarks.
And he said that I'm not saying India's. He says, right now, I feel, looking at the IPL and looking at white ball, he is the top white ball batter in the world for me. One of the top white ball batters. And how he doesn't make a score of 15, I'm baffled.
But what surprises about this, I'll tell you why. Because were we not shocked, and we've been left absolutely gobsmacked when you look at red ball cricket. There is a Sarfaraz who's been warming the bench for 2 big series now. So just racking up the numbers for some players is not good enough. That's what we've learned. So our reaction was much the same then, and then we got immune. We got immune season after season to see Sarfaraz basis whosoever floated this theory in the BCCI that he doesn't have the technique to play in Australia. Then you didn't even name him in the shortlist for the England series, which was even
leaking news.
Was whatever under the garb. Again, you have never outrightly come out there and openly said we suspected Sarfaraz to be the man who was leaking the news of the dressing room. If you have such conviction, then you must come out and say that.
Even if someone is leaking the news, can't be a reason that he's made to sit out. And if that is a big enough reason, then news is being leaked even now.
Even right now,
then you have to get half the squad to sit out.
You get a probe agency. You get a probe agency first, and then you ask them to go on and scan everyone's mobile phones and see, because news to 2 days back we knew which players are making definitely some sort of noise and will be there. About Jasprit Bumrah, how is it everyone in this world knew that Jasprit Bumrah has made himself available? We got these things as well, right? We picked on these things.
So you're telling me that there is something beyond cricketing logic that dictates selection, as Abhishek Nayar just recently also pointed out, and
the likability factor.
Yeah, so he said, interesting. What I don't know, maybe people who are watching us can confirm that that apparently he said it on one of the broadcasters, this quote, which we are showing our viewers just now, and soon after it was removed also from that broadcast.
So I don't think that was the quote, because he also had said, while he was talking about Shreyas Iyer, not only do all of you what you see on your screen right now is what he said, where he talks about maybe Shreyas is not as liked as a player as somebody else is. What
he is clearly saying
also said, the part that was removed, I think, was the part where he had also said, perhaps a few minutes earlier, that I don't understand how is it that he doesn't even make it to the bench. However, as we saw later on, the reserves were named as well. So maybe on the live broadcast, he was just surprised to see.
But he's still not on the bench. He's not in the reserves.
No, so that was for Jaiswal. That was the part that was removed later. He said that how is it that he doesn't even make it to the...
No, but even that would be valid, because if you talk bench, you talk about the squad of 15. The reserves are no bench, yeah. I mean,
That's the technical
No,
bit.
I think he said something which is apparently, I don't know, I could be wrong on that front. But anyway, what stands is the quote that he said, and that I think is the moot point. He's pretty much hinted that there is something beyond cricket that dictates, and he's kind of hinting. And why I think his quote is important, because till very recently he was part of that dressing room. He was part of that India dressing room, and now he's gone on to say as much as that somewhere I just feel that in the regard of likability, he's not liked as much as somebody else, and he's only talking about the decision makers. And if somebody who was part of the dressing room says that, I think this is quite a scathing comment.
Yeah, it's revealing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we're supposed to really react about this, because by now we know some players that are liked. There are some players that are not liked.
But
so what is new about this?
I'm just
There
saying,
has been the likability factor that has existed in Indian cricket for not just right now, for
I
since
agree,
time
but
immemorial.
That doesn't make it right, nah. It may have existed for very long. I'm saying he misses out because he's not liked. I don't know who, by the way, is the person who doesn't like him. I mean,
There has to be one of the decision makers then.
decision makers are the captain, the coach, and the selectors.
Yeah.
But one person not liking cannot result in him not even making the squad. Now, there are so many players that people disagree on. You may have a player that you want to back. Somebody may have a player they don't want to back. Eventually, it is, based on a common consensus that you pick the team. So clearly, they can't be just one person.
No, so what, like voting takes place, it could be a 3:2. 3 liking vis-a-vis 2 not liking.
Yeah, but no, it has to be the other way around.
Or the other way around,
not
yeah.
to make it.
Yeah.
But then that means there is not one person.
Yeah.
I don't know what is it. I like what, and why I'm surprised is what is it that they don't like. Maybe sometime he's a bit happy-go-lucky sort of a guy.
Shreyas.
And he's also maybe perceived as someone who's, he comes from a nice affluent family. He has a swag
He's
about
a
himself.
sober kid.
Yeah, he has a swag about himself. He's quite often quite entertaining on Instagram as well. I wonder whether that is sometimes looked down upon in a very archaic setup that is Indian cricket, because this Indian cricket has this thing of discipline. Oh, this guy is maybe not serious about his cricket, and I don't know whether they view it like
the
that,
only
because
thing you need to
it can't be cricketing logic, or it can't be any logic. We don't know of any sort of an issue that may have arose between somebody may a sort of a verbal fight or anything like that, any ego clash. We've not even heard of that. That's why I find it very strange that why is it that you wouldn't like him? What is there not to like? I think his biggest quality should be, if I'm a decision maker, more than what he is doing off the field or whatever I may like or dislike, my biggest quality that I should like about him is the way he plays. Yeah. And the biggest quality that should really, if I'm the captain or the coach or the selector, is the fact that he plays selfless cricket. He plays for the team. He plays attacking cricket. Doesn't mind if he gets out. And that should be the most endearing quality for people to like him, rather than, not like him.
I remember he was stranded on 97, I think, this IPL. Which team it was, I don't remember. But I remember him telling the batter at the opposite end, no, you go for your shots. You don't necessarily have to wait for me to get to the 100. And this is when there were people, not just in his own team, around as well. In the IPL, there were a few hundreds that were notched up already. KL Rahul had gotten 100. Other players had gotten 100. And then he did sort of send a message across that he wants to play. He wants to totally live by the brand of cricket that his franchise is playing. And so he look at his numbers. If you end the IPL with a strike rate of 175 and you're averaging around 50, having scored 600 odd runs that you did, that's just stupendous. It's got stupendous written all over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said, with the kind of numbers that Shreyas Iyer has. This is his IPL. I mean, just look at that. And why I was saying, and this is exactly what I was saying, that I know that somebody may bat at 5 and the other may be 4 or whatever, but for me, again, it's a very flexible batting order. That's what this Indian team prides themselves in. They want everyone to be a finisher. Axar can be a finisher. Axar can be higher up. Hardik Pandya sometimes can be a finisher. Hardik Pandya can even bat at 3-4. This is what this team wants. So I think, if you really wanted Shreyas and the ability that he has, you would have found a way. And I think just look at those numbers in IPL 2025 between Shreyas, Rinku and Dube. I know one was batting slightly higher up the order than the others, but the difference is quite stark there as well. So if you are a explosive batter, as you are in Rinku and Dube, I would discount the average that much, saying that chalo, they are batting a bit lower at 5-6, whereas Iyer may be batting higher. But that strike rate should be the reverse. Yeah. Whereas an Iyer should have been at 150, 140, whatever. And these guys should have been at 170, 180. But it's exactly the reverse. So it's just telling you that even batting higher up the order, he's really batting at a pace much quicker. And he doesn't always get power play to bat on. He comes after the power play. And even tougher, I think it's even a tougher point to accelerate than the death or the power play. And he's still getting you a 175 strike rate. So if you get him, I mean, today if I'm Shreyas Iyer, you tell me you be the finisher. At the moment, if I'm not getting a spot, I'll take that. And I don't think he'll do a bad job of it. Just that he's such a good batter that he bats higher up. See, I'm just saying at the end of the day, when you look at these numbers,
this is where I slightly disagree. I don't quite think you can ask a batter playing at 3-4 to suddenly become the finisher. I feel it is a proper skill to have.
He could be 5, yeah. He could be 5.
Yeah, he could be 5,
Hardik
which would also then mean
Axar can be 7 or whatever, 8, however you can play like that.
Because all the flexibility I think is okay in the middle order, but the finisher's job I think is a very clinical job to do. It's a very high skill set to have, and a rare one at that.
That you've taken have not been finishing.
Which is what? Axar can say, well, I've won you matches.
Yeah, but I'm saying these two finishers. No, the debate is over here. So if you
see between these two, Rinku has to be a finisher, not Dube. Dube will be the one I think who will be playing at number 5, not lower than that.
But with these numbers, you get to play. Okay, I mean Shreyas can play at 5. You'll play Dube at 5 and not have Shreyas at 5. Come on. With these numbers, I don't think
it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword because
I think it's a great excuse to fit or remove someone. He is this particular position, he can't do that. He is not that position, so he is a finisher, he can't do that. That's a nice way or a nice excuse to.
But I also think if I can be the devil's advocate here, and if I'm advocating for the selectors, I think sticking with the Dube and a Rinku also tells me that one IPL I'm not going to just chuck you out of the side. Because if I'm doing that, then every 12 months I am hitting the reset button. I won with you guys. Shivam Dube was absolutely murdering the ball at a time when Shreyas Iyer was not, which is the 2024 edition of the IPL. So I can be myopic if I want to. I can zoom out if I want to as well. It is just what I want to do.
What if I were to tell you that it's, I mean, the credit that you're giving them a long rope is not because of that. So it's not that they really cared, the think tank, that we must give a long rope. Rinku was pushed for to be in the team.
So but I feel
not this, because you are saying that the decision maker wanted to give them long rope. What if I tell you that they weren't keen of having him and there was external pressure to have him?
To have a Rinku?
Yes.
See, but then that way the logic also applies to Shubman Gill.
No, but in Shubman's case, it is a lot about perception, no? Rinku doesn't carry that tag. Shubman right now is your test captain. Shubman is, as the selectors pointed out, was your vice captain the last time you were playing. And there is a lot of other things that come with it. But Rinku's case, he's not there, no? He was even a backup reserve in your 2024 World Cup.
Yeah.
He came in with good thing because of a couple of good IPL seasons. After that, there's been a dip in form. And that's why I say that sometimes all of these things also matter. And that is why when I rated the squad, I gave it 8 out of 10. Because I don't think it's an ideal squad. So there are many wheels within the BCCI, right? And some pushed for having Rinku there, and you had no option but to have him there.
But I'd like to believe that, the same mechanism was also pushing for a Shubman Gill. So I think if there was not just one wrong that was being done, there were 2 wrongs, going by what you're saying. So because what is happening is if there's a Shreyas Iyer who's a victim of there being a case being pushed for Rinku.
You can make that point, but it is not the same for Shubman or Rinku, because I'm telling you that, no, I know how Rinku was pushed in. That's not the case with Shubman.
No, as long as it's non-cricketing, in
No,
Gill's case as
Shubman's
well,
case, no, in Shubman's
it
case
is.
it's more cricketing.
But ultimately, I'm looking at Brand Gill, right? I'm looking at Brand Gill. I'm looking at Gill serving
But that's
Indian
not
cricket.
what they said in the press conference. They said, no, we got Shubman because he was your vice captain earlier as well. And that he's done well in the IPL and that he's gotten runs in test match cricket.
But then I will look at that as being no logic, because I don't need test runs. If that is the reason, or if I'm looking at test runs, then am I having the top 10 Ranji scorers or top 3 Ranji scorers in my T20 team? I'm not selecting my T20 team basis what's happening in Ranji Trophy, right? That's not how selection works.
No, but I'm just saying that that's exactly, they've given cricketing reasons.
Yeah.
And I know this for a fact that the reasons for having both of them are quite different of how Rinku has come in. So it's not fair to club them in the same bracket. How Rinku
But
has
I'm
come
saying-
in
I'm saying
and
even
how
if-
Shubman has come in, it's completely different mechanisms at work.
I'd say for whatever the reason may be, because Rinku is he's just not had an ideal couple of months.
No.
But
Rinku, please look at it. Rinku won last year of T20Is, has not really stepped up. It's full 12 months. He's averaging 21. Okay, I'll still discount the average because he does the tough job. But his strike rate is at 129 for someone who
Yeah.
has to finish. It's abysmal. So it's good 12 months of T20I cricket. And it's not one season of IPL. You take a look at 2 seasons of IPL.
no,
and
but
even
I'll
there
take
his
that
numbers-
strike rate of 152.
150. I'm saying nowadays, if you're a finisher, you are operating at 170. 150 is what Shubman has come with. Shubman has 160, 170. And people are questioning his
but
strike
that's
rate.
batting in the power play. Just imagine then.
Oh, no, but that's
so
what-
having to play with 8 balls, 9 balls
But
vis-a-vis somebody batting
he
with.
actually accelerates towards the end. His strike rate is less in the power play. That's the other debate. But at the power play, he's operating at 120, 30. It's later where he matches it up and takes it there. No, so I'm saying 150 is not good enough for the kind of reputation we come with. So Rinku's had a massive dip, and I think he's very lucky. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for, some sort of mahal that was made to have him, if it wasn't for that, I don't think he would have made the team. I don't think it is a question of a long rope for him. On Shubman's case, it's a different thing. There was belief in the think tank, who are the decision makers, who themselves felt. For right or wrong, that's another debate, whether you have gone with him or not.
But I'm just
they
saying,
had belief in Shubman.
But there
to
was a
have him.
mahal creation for more than a Rinku, is what my point is. Shubman also gets in because of the mahal that was created. You can attach some cricketing logic to it, you can attach foresight to it, but all of those ingredients put together make for mahal.
In fact, I had this thought now, if Shubman Gill has made the team, and you can debate whether he needs to be there or not in the current scenario where you've had to leave someone like a Shreyas Iyer and a Yashasvi Jaiswal out much quicker, and that does seem a bit odd. I will agree with you. That actually takes me to the fact, and I was thinking about it, why, if this is the road that you had to take, we're okay with these sort of numbers because it's T20I numbers aren't great, good numbers in IPL. But if let's say you saw the last IPL, if this is the road you had to take in T20 cricket and have someone like Shubman, what was the need to really push a Virat Kohli out of the T20I setup? See, Virat, as we all know, was kind of nudged in T20Is, where both Rohit and Virat had been told, 2024 World Cup is your last. And then after that, he announced his retirement. I'm saying if you were okay to have a stable opening bat who can win you matches, set up bases and get bat at 150 strike rate, then the new version of Virat is also operating at that same level. Probably comes with a better pedigree in T20 cricket, having won you matches there, and now slightly changed his game, having changed his position to bat at that position. Yeah. And if you see this IPL, they have almost identical numbers, Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill. So all I'm saying is they're operating in the same gear at the moment. But Virat, the advantage is, if you're talking about a brand, he's even a bigger brand. If you're talking about experience, he has more experience. If you're talking about finishing skills, he's even bigger than that. If you're talking about clutch temperament, he's also big in that. So everything is there. And if this is, see, the reason we were told that and move away from Virat is because you're changing the language and the grammar of T20 cricket. And so you went with a Suryakumar Yadav as captain, and truth be told, they did change the grammar with our Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, the way they were. But now when you make the team for Asia Cup, You bring in a Shubman. Then I was thinking that if this is what
You
you have to do,
have
you should have kept
as-
because Virat, see, unlike Rohit, where sometimes fitness probably came into question, in Virat's case, that's also not
I
even the
agree with
question.
you
If
in that.
He's just won the IPL.
In that way, now that Shubman Gill will be in the 11 as well, there's no way your vice captain doesn't make it to the 11. What you've done is you've gone back to 2024. Why 2024? And while people can argue 2024 ended up being a T20 World Cup winning year for you, however, remember that for the longest time things weren't working out for Virat Kohli as well until that final came. What you have done is after that, if you hit fourth gear, you showed that there was fifth gear as well you could hit as a T20 side after winning the World Cup. Now, in my opinion as well, you've gone back to fourth gear because you wanted everyone left, right and center to go out there attacking. You did not want a stabilizer, somebody you could consolidate, somebody you could adapt. You didn't want any of those things. You wanted people to go out there, go hell for leather, play slam bang wham bam cricket. That's what you wanted. What you've done right now is, because look at the and that is what the inconsistency that reflects in Jaiswal's numbers for this year's IPL also tells you, that it comes with that cost also. You will not always, if you're going hell for leather, be able to score a lot of runs. He was inconsistent for that particular reason in IPL this year.
No, he was not actually. Yashasvi's numbers are incredible. I mean, take a look at that. He's, by his standard, because he's had such good IPL,
Yeah.
I agree. But by his standards, you thought that he didn't have a great IPL, and yet his numbers. Look at his strike rate and an average. Yeah, he's averaging 43 and a strike rate of 160.
Yeah, those good numbers.
Incredible numbers.
Yeah.
Incredible numbers. And this is a season where we are saying that he's had a
He's a little bit of a dip.
otherwise he operates at even a higher strike rate.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I'm saying, and he was actually part of your T20 World Cup ahead of even a Jaiswal. And then now he's been
Jaiswal made it to the 15, but Gill was a travelling reserve.
That takes me to the question that Ashwin has raised, where Ashwin says, and we all know that he's quite
vocal
and
expressive,
doesn't mince his words. He says players like Shreyas Iyer and Jaiswal are rare. They don't play for themselves, they play for the team. But if I were Iyer or Jaiswal next time, I wouldn't take risks and play for myself because I have to stay my own place. He's
100% agree. 100% agree. This is very wrong messaging. Very wrong messaging that's gone on to your incumbent captain as well, if you ask me. What you've told in effect to Suryakumar Yadav, who'll be 34 and a half by the time you finish the T20 World Cup of next year, that listen, regardless, forget the age bit, but the fact that Shubman Gill was named the vice captain in the Champions Trophy a few months back, we gave him test captaincy, now he's your deputy. So if there's no results or not the kind of results that we want from you in the upcoming edition where we're the host as well, you know who's taking the torch away from you, whether you like it or not. That is the messaging that has gone to Sanju Samson, if you to Suryakumar Yadav, if you ask me. The messaging that has gone to Yashasvi Jaiswal is that I have to become an IPL captain now. It all starts from the IPL. Look what an IPL captaincy does. That becomes a platform for you to show your leadership skills. If things go well, a little bit of up and down is allowed. Gill has not won the IPL yet. He's made it to a final. He was part of that winning squad, but he's had a dip as well where his team finished in the bottom three last year as we saw. So the ups and downs are allowed, but at least that thing gets attached to your CV that you've got leadership skills, you've got that platform. It all starts from there.
Leadership. He's talking about there used to be team players.
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer has leadership skills. I mean, he's done well in the IPL. Yeah,
but I'm saying, when it comes to making a mahal, this is how that mahal is made.
Shreyas has everything. Runs, captaincy, taken the two Lagarde teams as well to do well in Delhi and Punjab, and has won title with KKR. So he's done everything as a captain. He's made mahal. I don't think it's so much about the captaincy. I think what he's talking about is that they are very aggressive batters. They play fearless cricket. They don't care what their runs are. They play for the team. Now that you've dropped them, now they'll start playing selfish cricket, which is exactly what we don't want. I think this is the message that he's trying to convey. And I don't usually disagree with this thought, but this time I disagree with Ashwin. Because while I agree with his major point that how can you not have Shreyas and Jaiswal, completely agree with that. In my 15, both of them were there. They should have been there, completely agree. But I don't think they'll change their game, because the whole debate right now is that in T20 cricket you need those kind of batters.
But when will this debate reignite now?
They
It'll
know this.
reignite after 12 months.
But Harshit, see, if I get to know that if I change my game, let's say, to be getting more runs, and that will help my strike rate drop and I can do it, and that will get me into the team, that won't happen. Because now also you are actually going with players that are really setting the stage on fire, and Abhishek Sharma is an example. The only anomaly here is a Shubman Gill, but I don't think that's the right person to look at. Generally, if Shreyas, I'm just talking in terms of as a well-wisher of Shreyas Iyer and Jaiswal, because I like those players. I'm saying if they start thinking if they start thinking that if now I have to start playing, for myself, not so much for that, they'll change their game, and that's where they'll lose their X factor, and that's where people like you and me who are backing them will stop backing them, and that is why their edge will be lost.
But I did also with myself, after we were done with the dugout here, I spent a lot of time thinking about this whole selection process. And there's another thing that came to my mind. Then how is it that it can happen on the captain's watch? How is it that Suryakumar Yadav, who was egging his players on to go play high risk cricket, he'll be backing regardless of the numbers. He wanted that strike rate. Forget the outcome as well, is what he said. Forget the gallery, everything. You just go out there and express yourself. You play. I need you to get bat to ball. This is what it was. Now, how is it? I feel that the captain also in that selection was a bit handcuffed, because you don't play that brand of cricket. You wanted every wicket, everyone, all 7 batters to play that brand of cricket. And now that there's this one anomaly, it has not happened on his watch over the last 8-10 months.
Let me share with you something. As far as I know, Sky wanted Gill in the team as captain. He voted for having him in the team.
Then I would like to see how it pans out as well.
Maybe they think that they can get him to play like that sort of cricket. I don't know. I don't know what happens. But just to answer your point there,
but
that much I can confirm that the captain was keen to have.
And he wasn't handcuffed per se.
No, not at all.
But I'm just thinking now. Could have been
for some other selections. But
where we are in Indian cricket right now, I doubt if any captain would have said no to a test captain. Or the mohol around a Shubman Gill.
I don't know the reasons behind that. That's why I don't know. But all I'm saying is, no, he could have, I'm sure he must have expressed his reservations about a few other players, as a captain should. He could have very well expressed it for Gill as well. But all I can confirm is that he was on board to have Gill. That much I know for. That I can share. But what was his thought process? What is he planning to do with him? I don't know in details. But to Ashwin's point, that's what I think, that I hope that both Shreyas and Yashasvi don't take this to heart, this thing. Of course, it's not going to be it's going to be a bitter pill for them to swallow, but they should continue to bat the way they do. That is what makes them Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shreyas Iyer. As soon as they start playing a bit selfish, as he's saying, it can happen, they'll lose the edge. But I don't think they can do it.
There is so much to look at. Why? Because as you said, not just was that the case with Gill, where he would accelerate after the 10 over 12 over mark, but remember who was he playing alongside, and what had happened to that person who was playing alongside him. With all those runs, he managed to get his test cap as well. The run accumulation will always work in Indian cricket.
That I don't think it is the IPL that really got him the test cap.
First class average of 39 was never going to be good enough for you to then get a place in the 11.
No. That's not it. That worked for Sai Sudarshan. Yes. I thought you were talking about Shubman.
The other person I said he was opening with.
No. For Sai Sudarshan, yes, but I'm just saying that doesn't work in his favour in T20 cricket. No, but it did. They saw, and see, sometime I know that we've
Iyer's to not getting to eat the test pie as well.
But that you sometimes also see the ability of a player, that you think he's good enough, has the temperament to play test match cricket. That's of course a different debate. But I'm saying, to the point that I'm sticking to the point that Ashwin is making, to the point that Ashwin has made, I just hope that they
For that, how this team plays the Asia Cup, I think will play a role on how is it that Iyer and Jaiswal look at themselves.
No. I don't care how this team plays this Asia Cup. I don't care about anything in the world. I don't care what Ashwin has thought of it or anyone has thought of it. For the sake of Shreyas Iyer and Yashasvi Jaiswal, they should not think that playing percentage cricket or not playing for the team is going to help them. It'll do more harm to them. And I actually think they can't do that also. quite naturally they are very aggressive batters. Quite naturally they are the batters that have a lot of self-belief, self-confidence, have all the strokes. So I think they'll continue to playing like that. So I don't think we should worry on that front. Before we dive into that, because you said this, you started the show by saying India has so much talent, we'll try and make a alternate 11 of players that's not picked. But before that, another big issue is that of Axar Patel. I saw Mohammad Kaif tweet about it, saying that, I hope someone's told Axar that he's missed out on vice captaincy. Suddenly you've had him removed from that position. There's a clip of Gautam Gambhir going viral that, India under MS Dhoni lost. I was vice captain and he continued to be captain. I was removed as vice captain for those losses. And he clearly felt hurt that how can you do that? My question is that what wrong did Axar Patel do to just suddenly be removed from the leadership?
I think all Axar Patel, and not just him, a couple of others need to do is go to a good MBA school, take a crash course and understand the world of marketability, because that's what it is. It is not cricket. The BCCI will not be able to put any logic. The selectors will not. This is all down to that. And I think I know a few good MBA schools out there. I can surely recommend them if they need, because
Axar is from the state which has the best. I am Ahmedabad.
Yeah, no, you need to be going overseas now to get that sort of an insight now on world.
Harvard.
Yeah. See, it's the world of global brands and all. So there is no cricketing logic. You will not find the answers in any cricket field. You dig it 10 feet deep, you will still not find it. You go to a good MBA school, you will get all the answers.
Okay, and I'm also quite baffled. I mean, see, earlier it happened with the Hardik Pandya.
Yes.
Suddenly gets removed, not even vice captaincy role, and Axar gets removed. I just find all of it a bit awkward. I don't know.
It is. The two Siddharths that we know have written books. I think there is one of us, there is scope for so many books with Indian cricket. There can be one of all the ills done in Indian cricket. The ills of Indian cricket could be the possible title for it, and this will just be one of the many chapters.
Okay, we thought we'll do something very interesting, and that is to pick a alternate 11. Since we've been talking about the amazing talent that this Indian T20 setup has. So I've jotted down lots of names here, which I think, at the moment, if India were to send a secondary team,
I think
to play Asia Cup,
the primary team and the secondary team will be playing the final.
Yeah, their closest competition will be the main team, and who knows, the secondary team might win as well. But let's try and see. So the rules of this picking of our 11 is that you can pick any player that's not made the 15. So even if they are travelling reserves, you can go for it. Anybody that you want to pick, retired, not retired, from IPL, whatever is on your mind. If you had to, okay, not retired. Okay, Shivam says
active
okay.
players.
Okay, active players, not retired. Okay, active players.
Because pretty sure.
What I meant retired as in people who retired from T20Is but playing IPL. That sort. But I think it will be unfair because it is an international tournament. So then we have to. No, MS won't make it now. With this form, how will he make it? Will you get him? I don't think so. Captaincy, but they have changed CSK captain. Ruturaj is the captain. So I don't think it is. Okay, fine. So we'll listen to Shivam. So retired players also out. So only players that are available for T20I international selection. If you had to make an alternate 11, Harshit Ahuja, you don't have the luxury of getting your namesake Harshit Rana because he is in the other team.
No, he wouldn't have made it to my alternate 11.
Go.
I think I'm going to go with the obvious name that's missing from the 15. That is Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yes.
The one name that cries for selection.
Okay.
His partner is going to be another southpaw in Priyansh Charya.
Okay.
That is a talent that I look at quite highly.
Okay.
I can have a Sai for all the numbers that he scored. Sai Sudarshan at number 3. Just tad out of position. But since he's used to accelerating later, maybe he can do that in this team. Obviously at number 4 has to be Shreyas Iyer. With all the run scoring that he's been doing.
Yeah. You don't have to remove that bit. Shivam, just leave the right hand side. You just write the names this side. Just leave.
Yeah. I'm going with Shreyas at number 4.
Okay.
I'm going to slot in a Jurel after him. Because he misses out and was part of the scheme of things. Okay. Also, I think had a striker of about 154 this IPL.
Yeah.
Also is the wicket keeper.
Understood.
Yeah. Then there is Shashank, I'm going with. Was very good in that final as well.
Yeah.
Lost cause, but highest run scorer for Punjab. Followed by Washington Sundar, the other one who misses out.
Okay.
At 8, this might surprise you. He's batting too low, and that just changes the team combination. I'm going to have a Krunal Pandya.
Okay.
I have also got Sai Kishore for the good work.
No, but no. Your team is not. You
No,
have
but
to have 3 fast bowlers.
No, I'm playing the way that you played the England series.
No. Remember, you're playing in Dubai. No, so you have, say again, this has to be. Your team is being picked for Asia Cup in Dubai. It's going to be played later in the day. There's going to be a lot of dew. Last time Asia Cup happened, fast bowlers were the key. You can go with the spin bowling attack, but you have to have 3 fast bowlers. How you fit them in?
Then there is
you can think about it.
Yeah. Then there is no room for a Sai Kishore. I'm going to make do with a Sundar and a Krunal.
Okay.
I will fit in 3 fast bowlers. 2 that I have on my mind, Avesh and Prasidh, definitely. Third fast bowler, let's say if Mayank Yadav is fit, or a Siraj. I can go in with a Siraj as well. I'll slot in Siraj.
Siraj, okay.
Yeah.
Prasidh. Okay, that is an alternate 11 by Harshit. I find a flaw there. I'll get to that a little later. But let me finish my team. My openers are Jaiswal and Sai Sudarshan.
Okay.
The 2 openers that,
natural openers.
Pretty good
Yeah.
this IPL and have done well otherwise as well. So those are my 2 openers. My number 3 is a name that may resonate with Harshit, but he has not picked him. It is KL Rahul, and he is my wicketkeeper.
Okay.
Good strike rate of 150 this last IPL season. Lots of runs as well. Was batting at that similar position. So he's my wicketkeeper.
Good pick.
My backup wicketkeeper would have been Churel in my 15.
Okay.
In my 15-member squad, but now my 11, no, I'm making. Then my number 4 is...
So, very interesting over there that the reserves for the Indian primary team doesn't make it to the alternate team, and somebody who's not even on the reserves has made it to the alternate.
Yeah, that's right. That's the embarrassment of riches. That is the talent that India has.
Yeah, but good.
Number 4 is my captain in Shreyas Iyer.
Okay.
So he's my captain and batter.
Yeah, he gets his due somewhere.
Yes, he does. He's definitely. As I said, a foreign journalist called me and said the best white ball batter is not made in the world, has not made your team. I'm pretty shocked. So it's sometimes good to see how others also look at your team, right? So, okay, now it gets interesting. At number 5, I have Riyan Parag. Okay, at number 5, I have Parag. At number 6, I have Shashank as well. Okay. He's my finisher. So Shashank comes in at 6. At 7, I have Krunal Pandya. So he's my one spinner. At 8, I have Harshal Patel because I need some batting at 8, and he had a decent IPL this IPL that's gone by. Harshal Patel, by the way, had a better IPL than Harshit Rana, if I'm not mistaken. Should have had but yeah, there you see. He's finished with 13 wickets in 16 matches and a better economy at 9.80. Harshit Rana has finished with 10.18 economy and same amount of wickets. In fact, Harshal had a better IPL than Kuldeep Yadav as well. Now that we are just looking at it, though they don't compete, but I'm just saying. So I'm going Harshal and I need some batting there. Harshal Patel is my number 8. Yes, but I need batting, Shivam. I have thought about that. No, number 8, I need my batting. At number 9, I have Sai Kishore. I need my second spinner. So Sai Kishore is there in number 9. 10 and 11 are Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj. So that's my 11, and I'll tell you, Washington Sundar makes my 15. But what I'm going to do with the Washington Sundar is try and use him for whenever I for Riyan Parag.
Slash.
Yeah, so for Parag /
Washi.
Washi.
Now to the flaw. You said you wanted to point out a flaw in my team.
Flaw in your team is, sir, you have only one spinner.
No, I have
Kunal.
two now. Washi as well.
Washington Sundar did not bowl at all in this last IPL. He played as a batter. When his IPL team is not using him as a bowler, how can he be your second spinner? Sir?
He can.
No, he cannot be.
He can.
See, I'll tell you
He
why.
was bowling proper in the Test series.
Test series, no, because in Test series, off spinners are still valid. You look at T20 cricket, off spinners have kind of vanished. Nobody is really using off spinners. Someone like Ash Anna has to sit out, yeah. And he has to come up with variations which are like leg spin variations to be in contention.
I think
You have two spinners, one of them being Washington Sundar, who's not even been used by his IPL franchise as a spinner. It's a big gaping hole.
if there's a Sai Kishore and Rashid Khan in the same team, how do you even bowl him?
No, come on. He played, you could have still bowled him. He played as a pure batter in games.
Yeah, you were batting
But you
with
still
number
never
4.
used him. You still never used him.
Number 4, number 5.
That's what I'm trying
he
to
was
say. You didn't
batting.
use him, but I will have him in my squad as I will have Jurel as well. This will be my 11. On certain days, if it's a very spin-friendly track, I can even remove a Harshal and get a Sundar. So like an extra spinner then comes as a backup spinner. But I need wicket-taking bowlers. No, my Siraj, Prasidh, Sai Kishore, Krunal are going to be doing that. And a Harshal. That's why this is the 11 that I have gone with. Yes, but we have to look at batting. No, I've got my captain in Shreyas Iyer. How will I go with Patidar? Who can he replace? Cannot.
Shivam is asking us as to why we don't have the IPL winning captain in
Yeah.
Rajat Patidar
Don't.
in the 11.
Yeah. IPL winning captain last season was, not this season, last season was Shreyas Iyer. He's not even in the team for Asia Cup.
Nor was he there in the T20
Okay,
World Cup.
come on, quickly can we dive in? Because of what? How do you know it is because of the coach? Shubham is saying Jaiswal banged the door in T20I test when he was given the chance. Gill keeps getting opportunities to perform. Leadership on a platter. Is it because of his good looks?
No, it
Harshit,
can't
will
be.
you try and answer that
It can't be that shallow a reason. It can't be that shallow a reason. But there's also some lovely biryani, I think, that entered the studio. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
no,
a
curry, not biryani.
curry. So it's
Made
going to be
by-
early dinner for us,
Ha.
in short.
Ha.
But no, it's not because of the good looks. No.
It is because of, you mentioned it.
Marketing. Mahal.
You only said.
Mahal.
Okay. Shubham also says if Shreyas comes, scores runs, Gill fails, then how will Gill be captain in line? Shreyas has outperformed Gill in every aspect possible in IPL World Cup. Which is true, but how will he come in?
Crash course.
No, how will Shreyas come in? Crash course nahi hoga. A World Cup is around.
Puja Path.
Nothing.
Is he the Puja Path types?
Someone says, since Nikhil asked, I have read somewhere Harshit is selected above Krishna because team management wants someone who can hit sixes and bat at 8. I told you. I also told you that.
Yeah, you.
This thing is.
At Test cricket, you made him play because you wanted batting. Yeah, like that. Test cricket debut came that way.
I can't. I mean, you can't be dropping your best bowlers or batters because they don't do the other skill.
See, one thing we knew the time that this series leveler came at the Oval, you knew that this combination now,
Then
our
you should have
mouths are
picked-
shut now.
Then you should have picked Yashasvi Jaiswal over Gill because Jaiswal can bowl leg spin sometime. He bowls, na? AI platform fan club
AI
says-
platform says 90% say Gill is being forced on us, sack Ajit and GG.
I mean, I think the common consensus, the majority people are shocked.
People are sure nobody would have had a problem in Gill being there in the 15 had you also had a Jaiswal. At the moment, the collateral damage is bigger.
And a Shreyas as well.
And a Shreyas. But because slot by slot, if you see, Jaiswal, I think the furore out there is quite palpable. It's for Shreyas as well. So many of the reels that you're seeing on Instagram and on X as well, if you see, people are out there looking for justice for the two guys who haven't made it.
Yeah. I agree.
Shreyas, I think, is only now joining Sarfaraz, where he's also looking for justice because just runs aren't enough, clearly.
Sharan says, Nikhil bhai, after Gill's inclusion, do you see any chances of him captaining India in the upcoming T20 World Cup? I will not be surprised he walks out for toss in Feb. No. I think Sky is your captain. That much is done. Yes, you will have a change of leadership. I mentioned the other day. No matter what happens at the World Cup, you're going to have a change of leadership.
You can be very assured of Sky being your captain in your home T20 World Cup of next year. Unless
That's
something...
what I said. After that 2026 World Cup, you'll have a change of captaincy. After it.
Yeah. Soumya Das Gupta says GG has very strong likes and dislikes. Having likes is fine. Every reader has that in any field, but having strong dislikes is not done.
But again, Soumya, it's not one person who's making a call. That's why I said the captain was there, the selectors were there, all selectors were present there. The secretary is there. Gautam Gambhir wasn't even in the selection meeting. So,
but his inputs could have been shared anyway.
Like for example, Harshit was of the opinion that maybe Sky wouldn't have been very comfortable with having Gill with the kind of cricket that his team was playing. But I confirmed to him, having known fully well from people in the know of things,
the Sky was on board.
Very credible sources, that the captain was completely on page to have Gill. Was keen to have Gill, in fact, in his squad. Ashish Dhar says, play Gill but not at the cost of Sanju. Sanju can bat at number 5. Ashish, Mr. Gavaskar made his 11 on Sports Today yesterday. You can check that out. He did fit in a Sanju Samson at 5, but I don't know how much of that is going to happen. I have a feeling eventually you will have Jitesh being your wicketkeeper and Sanju might not make the 11. Unfortunate again, but I think this is what will happen. Okay, next.
Big Boys Toys says that as RR forced Rayan, BCCI are forcing Gill on us. It is politics. Also a crash course in political science then. Shubham Garg says that Jaiswal's ahead of Gill was in T20 cricket, more runs strike rate in Zimbabwe Sri Lanka T20Is, better performance in Test. He is just 90 runs short of Gill in IPL, 2 matches less.
Yeah, that's what I also said. There is numbers even in IPL, despite it was not his best IPL, still looks so good, Jaiswal.
Yeah. Ashish Dhar says that Gill's selection okay, but as vice captain, that's too much.
I think because again there was mentioned in the press conference that they do see some leadership qualities in him and they're backing, and I think they've seen that in the IPL as well as here. I actually would have thought of a Shreyas Iyer ahead of that. But I guess Indian cricket setup just likes to have
all format person. Yeah. As I was saying,
it's not necessarily the right thing to do.
You're ensuring that somehow you get to that one person.
Yeah.
It may not be the natural course to take, but I will pave the way in such a way that you end up going there. Sharan, Big Boys Toys with another one says that we've taken that one, sorry. Sharan says, but the only solace we can take is that Indian T20 setup is very solid in spite of all these antics of selection.
Exactly what we said at the start. When I asked you about the team, you said, no, this team is a Asia Cup winning team. I said, any team that will be made will be Asia Cup winning team because that's the kind of bench strength India has. You and I also make it will be, but we should not judge it based on that. We should judge it based on, have you done justice or not to the players?
Rakesh Bhushan says, Sky is surrendering to the BCCI Mandarin. He should remember what happened to him prior to his debut. That's why the BCCI wants rigid player to get out and wants their yes man around. Yashasvi Jaiswal Iyer dropped for non-cricketing reasons.
Not sure about surrendering though. Because a lot of his players that he had been playing continuously with, he's got that. So I'm sure Sky also had a say in the team selection and got the kind of players that he wanted. And as I just mentioned, he was keen on having Gill too. Big Boy Toy says, see number 1 trending on X is Gill BCCI like Rayan RR forced. Okay. But I think even though we've debated and I've also questioned that selection, but I think that what happens in RR is just next level. I think Indian cricket and
It's with a thought with us. He says that Gill was busy with tests after captaining, vice captaining in T20s. That's why Sanju got a chance, and comparatively Jaiswal with Abhishek left-hander and Gill with Rohit Sanju righty. I think he's talking about the combination.
yeah, so he's saying that Gill would have anyway come because you would have needed a righty. That's not true. Rohit, Virat were two right-handers. They opened. That time you never said you needed a lefty in that sense. So why can't you have a Jaiswal and a Abhishek Sharma, two lefties open?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but those days it wasn't so much, no, left hand, right hand. Talking about now.
Next big thing says that some wins destroy you. 152 for no loss destroyed
Pakistan.
Pakistan. 2-2 us. That bit I didn't understand.
No, he says...
He's talking about the 2021 result, I see.
Yeah, where Pakistan...
10
won.
wickets.
And he says that destroyed Pakistan. How? I don't know.
How?
That actually gave them a boost. No, I know what he's trying to... He's saying because they've got that, then they were so happy with that those players continue to play for the longest time without really performing, and they were never put under pressure.
Devpriya Vyas.
No, Shubham.
Yeah, I'll just take that one. He says that Agarkar destroyed Rahane and Pujara's career also.
No,
but he
not
wasn't
so
around.
Much. No, yeah, even before Ajit was there, I think Indian cricket had moved forward from Rahane Pujara.
That was done by the previous regime.
Yes, before that only. Yeah, he didn't go back to them, and to an extent, I don't blame him. I guess, when you were even questioning like a Rohit and Virat's longevity, how could you have gone back to a Rahane and a Pujara?
Yeah.
So.
Shubham Garg has another comment for us. He says that MSD was good in white ball, not red ball. VK other way around. Same Rohit, not good with red ball. Where is the learning? Administrator need to learn, not just the cricketers.
I agree with Shubham, 100%. That you have to figure out, different formats, different captains, different players.
Yeah.
What's the harm in that? I think that's the future. You should be doing that, but they haven't. So, unfortunately, you cannot. Chalo, on that note, we're going to take your leave. Another edition of the Dugout comes to an end. It was we promised you a thinking, nice discussion. I hope you've gotten that. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We will try. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Of course, there'll be news flow, everything coming in. We'll look at that. But what we'll try and do is we made an alternate 11, but try and make the real 11. I think that's going to be a tough task as well. Does Sanju come in, not come in? Harshit Rana at 8 or not? Do you play both Kuldeep and Varun Chakravarti or not? So many different combination permutation. We'll try and address that. Siddharth will also be joining us. So look forward to your company. Take care. Bye-bye.
We'll leave for some good chicken curry.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. I hope there's some biryani as well. But anyhow, we'll take your leave. We'll catch you exactly the same time tomorrow. That's Thursday.
Yes.
So yeah, join us tomorrow. Until then, take very good care of yourselves. It's good night from the two of us and Shivam, who's also joining us from behind the camera. Nandri, Shubh Ratri, Shab Bakhair, eat your vegetables and don't trouble your mother. Bye-bye.